Hello, creatives. When I refer to creatives, I refer to every one of us that has the ability to trigger. We all have a talent to trigger imagination, to trigger creativity, to find ways that we can look at things beyond the pictorial, that we can go deeper than that. Part of our situations in lives that are highly complex, we're talking about now about situations that sometimes don't make sense. It takes a lot of time and a lot of analysis to come to terms and kind of like tiling a floor, where you become aware of all these different spaces and feelings and emotions that you have shared with someone. Let's use the relationship between what we've been working on, I've been working on, the self with a model, a subject. It could be a relationship, it could be a brother, a romantic relationship, I'm sorry, it could be a brother, it could be a friend, it could be a group of people. But when I narrow it down, it's a relationship you have with someone, that you develop a relationship based on a balance, an interconnection, an interlaced connection, what we would say a soulmate, a kindred spirit, a person that when you meet this person, you feel that you were here. It's part of the divine path. You were here to meet for a reason. There's a lot of stuff that you develop in the moment with that person, and we call it a body, mind, and soul. The body is the physical, is matter. Energy is what the universe is made out of. Energy and matter, mass, matter, we're made out of that energy formation. So when we meet someone that we interlace with this incredible precision of luminosity, and then we feel as an absolute. Why? Because the universe has electromagnetic energy. From electromagnetism, we get something called light. And it's a positive and a negative charge. So we turn the light on, and that's an absolute. Nothing goes faster than the speed of light, unless you go into subatomic particles and you find something called neutrino that was discovered by a physicist in the 1940s called Wolfgang Pauli, Nobel Prize winner of quantum mechanics. But for us, in the three-dimensional world, the absolute is electricity. We share that charge with others and us. I've been going through a tremendous situation where I was awakened by a person that took me a couple of years to figure out in therapy, breaking down why these weird feelings that I was getting from the person. And a beautiful person, a person that I met many years ago. And we had that kindred spirit relationship. It was unbelievable. It was magical. It was like having, I love pasta. It was like having the best pasta dish over and over and over again. It was yummy. The relationship had so much potential. And I thought that this was like electricity. This was an absolute, and it is in a reality. If we take it out of the three-dimensional reality, because that person is not in my space anymore. And this drawing is about that. This drawing is about Okay, I want to get into this area here, but there's like a door. The door, I shut it down. I blocked the door. I locked the door. Not only did I block the door, I put a bolt on the door, meaning that door's closed. For this person and these karmics, these karmic codependent humans that had to do a lot with influencing this person. Let's call it a model. Let's call this a self-portrait with a model. And actually, they're real people. They're real people that are very dangerous. Why they're dangerous? Because they hide. They hide in spaces that are three-dimensional spaces. They hide behind doors. They hide behind curtains. They have no dignity. So I was with a person that's a hider. She hides her emotions. I open up my emotions. These drawings I start with the great work of Gustav Jung, where he talks about activating your active imagination, and you concentrate, which helps to grow the mind. You focus on a dream. You let the unconscious speak. You generate an artifact on paper, a drawing. Doesn't matter the level of rendering, the level of composition, the level of form and content, because you want to activate. With practice, doing active imagination, you want to be able to analyze the message, and you want to let the unconscious speak. And here's a diagram that I always utilize on the great genius, the beautiful genius, Gustav Jung, Swiss psychologist, mystic, psychoanalysis, the father of modern psychoanalysis, along with Freud and Adler, and then we have Lacan. But the ego is here, and I mean these are representation of these are artistic representation, pictorial representation of a certain mathematical geometric pattern that's quantified, and that I can reduce it to the lowest common denominator, where I can analyze certain situations that weren't revealed by emotions and feelings and by communication. Here's where, when communication literally collapse, what happens when communication collapses between two people? So you might have body, and you might have a certain sexual chemistry with body, and with fetishes, boots, hair. But what happens is you're just in the body, and you're just stuck in the body physicality. What happens when you're stuck in the physicality of a limitation, maybe a three-dimensional reality, or you're stuck in sex, or you're stuck in cigarettes, or you're stuck in alcohol? These forces become addicting. What happens when the person that you're with is hiding stuff? And they become very good at it. They're almost like actors playing a movie script. And they develop the necessary tools to act a part out and to confuse we're going to call ourselves artists, the artist and the model, to confuse the creator, the person doing the creativity, the person expressing himself, the person stepping out of the comfort zone, the person being courageous to expose himself vulnerably, the person that, no matter if you're male or female, that you're able to elevate those both energies, the animas and the anima. The animas and the anima. That's the way you get to the self. That's the way you work on shadow work. That's the way you reach archetypes. So anyway, it's so painful when you're able to look at a kindred spirit that was a soulmate, that was a friend, that was a partner, that was a partner in life, all of a sudden collapse. What I would call a quantum deformation of the collapse. Meaning, not only do you have to recover an ego, let's say for argument's sake, the person found a better option, maybe male or female. We're talking about karmics, third-party karmics, a third-party energy. What happens when you find someone? What happens when they find someone that could be a better option than you? Or me? And people are entitled to do that. Completely. We are condemned to be free. Jean-Paul Sartre, French existentialist philosopher of the 20th century. One of the great sayings he said, well, we're condemned to be free. We have free choice. If we find a better option, we find a better job, a better place to live, better health, anything, we have the right to choose that. That's not the problem. The problem is when there's third-party energies and you're being devalued. You're being devalued in your energies. You're being devalued in your humanity. You're being devalued in your essence. That's the real betrayal. The real betrayal is when you are being neglected and annihilated into a nothingness, into a black hole. Now, people that are at this level, like this person that I'm talking to you about, who is a tremendous fake and a phony, very charming, very educated, a player, a person that, I'm an old fart, she's an old fart, she's an old gal, I'm an old guy. You get to a point where you should have wisdom. You should have a sense of self-confidence within your being. An ego, it's managed in a very precise, in a very analytical way. That ego could be kind of not put away, but kind of set to the side and let the collective come in. What is the collective? Consciousness and your subconscious mind. What happens when you don't express yourself? You don't feel stuff. You don't let dreams come in. You don't have passion. You don't have new topics. You don't have new material. You're dead flat. You're flat dead. You're pathetic. You're dead. What happens? Your collective dies because your subconscious mind and the conscious mind is the true relationship. It's actually the real marriage. Your real partner in life is your collective, your subconscious and your conscious mind. But when you go back to ego, money, sex, here's like penises, female, I know who they are. They're always in the back. They're cowards. When they're around in the 3D, they don't speak. They're afraid to speak. They're afraid to have transparency. They're afraid to express who they are. They hide behind the doors. And you have to put up a fight. You have to, this is actually like a fourth-dimensional space manifold in electromagnetism and quantum mechanics that shows that we're interlaced. We're interlaced, not in luminosity of enlightenment, but we're interlaced in what appears to be a black hole. We're going into the black hole. We're entering the black hole. But I also have the ability to navigate the oceans of space-time and say, you know what? I'm not going to get fucked in the black hole. I'm gonna go into the white hole. The white hole is something that is still, in quantum mechanics and physics, is still, it's still being defined. as a probability factor. But if you see the analysis of Big Bang and how a singularity was a white beam of light came into the what they call it wasn't even an atom, it was like half of an atom, it came and blew it up, and that created a synergy of atoms and an evolution of atoms that turned into matter and molecules and the protein molecule. Without that, we wouldn't have legs and ass and sexual parts, and we wouldn't have boots, we wouldn't have a room with doors. So this physicality called relativity, right? Whatever we're made out of, atoms and boson and fermions, and calcium and magnesium, and it's all stardust, at an electromagnetic energy, at a subatomic particle energy, we become that. So we're all interlaced. So what happens is in psychology or in behavior, when somebody is a fake, and the person is not willing to reveal, it's always hiding stuff, and have secrets. What happens is, this is what happens. Your mind gets activated through what? Active imagination. So if somebody is denying something and you don't know, your mind will go into turbocharge performance and handling of the subconscious mind. Meaning you will utilize symbols, may it be in photographs, may it be in conversations, any flags, any weird stuff that you experience throughout the relationship. It could be 15 years, it could be 20 years, it could be 15 months. You start recapitulating, quantifying all this weird stuff. And what happens is, if you've done work, instead of going back to ego and you get upset, you say, oh, I'm upset, I'm a male, this guy with a penis came into my space. Oh, I want to fight with this guy. I want to fight with her. I want to fight with everybody. That's my ego. And that's nothing gets accomplished. As a matter of fact, you make it worse. Because the real power in quantum mechanics is the power of energy, information. That's what the universe is made out of, energy and information. And how do you analyze? How do you analyze the message, and how do you analyze the objective analysis? To be able to come to terms with something that you can call a facticity of how you feel. Because that person will not give you that. And I mean, these experiences that I've had my own karmic, circleless realities in the three-dimensional world. From a very manipulating mother, who was also not a good person, but I loved her and she loved me. And she had a lot of beautiful qualities. But to a brother who, amazing, the pain my brother has given me. To my ex-wife, 14 years of another hider, another person that did not express her emotions and feelings, became cold stone, a cold stone cadaver. She became literally a person that was dead. And I had to rescue our relationship of 14 years by practicing active imagination and going back with my ex when things were beautiful and they were blossoming, and we had this tremendous kindred spirit of body, mind, and soul. Then what happens? What happens with this individual when a person shuts down emotionally, pushes you away? The only thing you're left with is here. Look at this little dot here. This is what I perceive as being the subconscious mind. That's the only thing that activates. Why? Because it's not that it's natural. I would say that it's more unnatural than natural, because you have to trigger the imaginary. You have to trigger the quantum. You have to trigger probability factor. Because you don't have 3D mathematical probabilities. Let's say you have $17 in your wallet, and you open it up and there's $17. Here you're not going to get that answer. You could say, oh yeah, she's going to say, yeah, I have 3 people, and these 3 people are we're in bed together. She's not going to say that, because she knows that my values and my perception and my interconnection with her at a spiritual level, at an energy level, is interconnected with a probability factor of having a life together. Once you bring a kindred, once you bring a karmic in, and she's highly, highly successful, works in the entertainment business, has a lot of codependence. She needs to be in the spotlight. She needs to keep young. She needs to keep beautiful. She needs the attention. She needs all these fakes, all these nobodies, people that don't have a life, people that are pathetic, embarrassments of who they could be and they're not. But she keeps them alive because that's her supply. Very important. Once that happens, it's good to put up a fight, but it's a different kind of fight. It's not the fight of launching at someone and freaking them out. It's not spying on them. It's not chasing them. It's not dumping text messages and calling them. It's the opposite of that. Somebody does not want you and they push you away, just walk away. Because the supply these idiots, these morons need, it's the drama. Oh, what a bad person this person is. Oh, what an evil guy he is. Oh, the horrible stuff he left me on my message, on my recorder, on my voicemail, I'm sorry. Oh, what emails? Oh, he threatened me. Oh, he followed me around. I had to change cars. I had to walk different streets because he was around. No, that's a loser. What you do is you walk away. You walk away. Now, it doesn't take away that in my own room with my door locked, I can do my shadow work. And hell yeah, you can fight the demons, you can fight the karmics, you can fight, you can put up a fight. That's shadow work, and that's super healthy. Because what that happens is, you develop that mirroring that Lacan talked about. You utilize a mirror. And this could turn into a mirror, by the way. By the way, these are my kindred spirits, my ancestors. There's 3 of them there that I'm not going to define now. That's kind of my secret. And they're always there. And by the way, when we're fighting the 3-dimensional world, they're fighting for us in the 5th dimension. They're fighting this energy, the devil energy, the demon energy, the fake energy, the people that they want to sabotage a beautiful life. They want to sabotage your talent. They want to sabotage your being. They want to kill you. They do black magic. Not black magic of voodoo. They do black magic of consciousness. They wish you the worst. So the best thing is, hold the line. Do not trigger drama, verbal, judgment. Walk away. Silence. The power of silence is the power of evolution and the power to evolve yourself and elevate yourself to the level of quantum energy. to go beyond the limitation. And that takes a lot of work. Thank you.